The more niched or specialized you are in a particular skill, the easier it gets for artificial intelligence to replace you, because you have to understand that the skill that you are offering to a particular client, it does not matter how much valuable it is if it is just one repetitive task that you're doing over and over and over and over again. For example, we can start with one of the most basic skills that new beginner freelancer try to learn is graphic design, or maybe web development, or maybe it's video editing, because these are one of the easier skills. Not the web development, it takes like maybe 1 or 2 years to master it, but graphic design and video editing are the skills that a lot of new freelancers tend to pick up because they are relatively easier to learn. It just takes you like 1 or 2 weeks to get the basic understanding of the software and how it works. Even if you are in graphic designing, you have tools such as canva.com or something other similar to that, that makes video editing and image editing a lot more easier. You can just do one click and it will remove the background for you. You can do one click and you can edit the thumbnail in like 5 seconds. So these are all the things that new graphic designers think that, okay, I will master this skill and I will go into freelancing and I will provide these services to my different clients and they will pay me a good amount of money. The problem with this skill is that it is easily replaceable because we are in the age of AI revolution. And I personally believe that within next 5 to 10 years, a lot of these jobs are going to be replaced, especially the niched job. The more niched the more easy it will be for AI to replace you. For example, all of these social media managers and all of these social media marketers, all of these small niched content creators, they will be replaced by AI. For example, me, I provide services in web analytics, and believe me, all of the new projects I get, these are just repetitive work. So I have done something for one client, I have to repeat the same system for another client and repeat the same system for another client. There might be a little changes, maybe 1 or 2, but these are all the things that are very repetitive and they will be changed. I will be out of service in maybe next 2, 3, or 4 years. I have been using tools such as segment.io and Little Data, and they are very strong and powerful tools. After using those tools, I think my only work is like 1 or 2 hours of on a client project. So yeah, I would always recommend someone to go into a niche which is not very specialized, but more of a broad thing. There is a very famous saying that jack of all trade and master of none is not a good thing, but I personally believe it's better to know a lot of different things so you can offer multiple things to your client, and then you will be on a retainer basis and you won't be replaced by an AI. Video editing, like all the videos that I added for this YouTube channel, it takes me like 15 minutes to edit this, and I will show you the process. Maybe someone who is thinking about getting into freelancing through video editing, maybe they can pick up this skill and start offering their services to the client. But you have to understand that you don't make everything based on niche skill. You can be the best web developer on the world, you can be the best video editor on the world, but if you don't know how to represent yourself to a client, then it's of no use. So in this video, we are going to explore a few things that you essentially need to become a good pitcher to get your first order. Basically, the first and the foremost thing that you need is you need to have a valid offer. If you don't know what service you are going to offer to your client, then the client does not know what they can buy from you. I have met a lot of freelancers when I was building my team, and I always ask them, okay, I want you to work with me, but you have to tell me what you can do for my business. And most of the time freelancers have no experience. They're like, okay, I don't know what I can do for your business, so I might not be a good fit for you. So the first thing that you need to do is define a valuable offer that you think client will be willing to pay you for that particular thing. The second thing you need to do is build a portfolio around that offer. So let's just take an example of graphic designing and video editing side by side, because I think a lot of these skills are very common. Or we can take some other skill too, like web development. So let's say you are a web developer and you have picked this skill that you are going to offer web development services to your client. Now you have to define your offer. Your offer can be something like based on the final product. So I will build a 3-page website for you. Or if you are in graphic designing, then I will make 3 poster design for you, or 3 social media design for you. Or if you're a social media manager, I will set up a campaign, set up 1 campaign for you, set up 3 campaigns for you. So this is something like your offer based on the output that the client is going to get after they're going to work with you. This is a good starting point if you're new, because in the beginning, you don't have any kind of results that you can prove to your client. And if you're new to the skill, then everything gets more complicated because you don't have much experience in that particular niche. So you can start from this thing, like offering one output based on whatever service you are providing. And the other option is providing results. And this is where most of the money is made, because you're not telling the client, okay, I will set up one campaign for you for social media management. You're telling them, I will bring this much sales on this particular campaign, or I will bring this much lead generation, depending on whatever thing you are kind of offering. Or if you are on social media management, you will say, okay, I will create post that will get this much engagement. Or if you're video editor, you will say, okay, I will create a video that will get this much retention rate. So these are the things that you can offer, because these are the pain point of the client. This is why the client want to hire you. And this is the first offer where you are just offering 3 pages website, or one video edited, or 3 social media design. This is mainly for the client who want to keep a lot of control to themselves, and you are not able to take the responsibility from them. But in this case, you take the responsibility from the client for generating the results, and this is where you get a lot of money. But for the timing, let's just focus on this particular point. So now you have an offer. Now you need to decide a pricing for that. So let's say a 7 pages website is being charged $300 on average, that you have checked prices on Fiverr and Upwork. And if you go outside of the platform, they are charging anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500 for a 7-page website, right? So these are the 2 different prices. Because you are in a competitive market, so there are always prices going to be a little lower, rather than if you have your own business and then you are trying to sell the same services from there. Now you have an offer, and now you have a pricing for that. Let's say you're going with the average price of $300. Now you need to create your portfolio items, because without the portfolio items, it's nearly impossible to get the first client unless you have like some sort of thing to showcase some stuff. So how you build your portfolio, there are 2 different ways. You can either build your own portfolio website. It can be a simple website where the user goes to the page and they can look at different case studies that you have built. For example, let's do social media design for graphic designers, and you can showcase, okay, before I started working with this particular client, they were getting 200, 300 likes on every post, and when I came in, the likes went up from 300 to 500. Or you can just show them how I increased the engagement. Or if it is a first offer, like just doing the work, then you can show, okay, I have built this design for these different niches. This is one more thing. You need to understand that your portfolio has to be very much diverse. A lot of the time, what people do is that they have one big drive file. They have, let's say, edited videos for 10 different YouTubers, and they put all of those videos in that one folder. And then whenever a new client comes in, they ask you, okay, can you show me your portfolio? I want something for my vlogging editing. And then you just throw the whole link to them. The problem with this approach is that the client does not have enough time to go through all of those 200 videos that you have edited. It would be a lot better if you can just pick 5 videos that are only specific to vlogging that particular client needs. It is more likely that he will convert. But this is the second thing. You need to build your portfolio based on niches or based on the clients that you are going to approach. For example, if you are a web developer, then in general there are going to be 2 different clients. One is going to be the lead generation one, and then one is going to be an e-commerce one. Let's say on e-commerce you can build some different portfolio items. Maybe you can build a pet shop for some design. You can build a Shopify e-commerce store. You can build a WordPress e-commerce store. These are something that is important for you, but for the client, everything is about their specific niche and needs. So you have to understand that the client does not care if the website is on Shopify, WordPress, or whatever. They only care if the sample that you are showing to them is more relevant to their particular example. If a client comes to you and they ask you, I have a dog website, I have a pet breed website, and in your portfolio item, you have already built a pet-based project, then that client is more likely to convert, rather than if you just showcase them 3 lead generation websites that are very beautiful, but they have nothing to do with e-commerce, so the client loses his trust in you. The third thing you need to do is prospecting. You need to find where your customer exists, and you need to reach out to them with a strong message. This is where all the talk about cover letter and all the talk about cold calling and email structuring comes in. You have to be professional. This is the thing I face with a lot of beginner freelancers, that their communication is not professional, not to the point. Most of the time when you're having a conversation with a freelancer, they will send you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 messages, and that gives the client 5 notifications. And if it is on Upwork, then it will send the client 5 emails too. So you don't have to bug the client with emails and messages. You just need to be on the point. Just send them 1 message and wait for their reply. If you need to add something to that message that you forgot, just edit the existing message and keep your messages short, to the point, and just discuss the thing that you need. Don't try to jump ahead of the project. For example, if a client come to you and they're like, hey, I need a website, you don't throw them your portfolio project, you ask them, okay, what kind of project do you need? Do you need an e-commerce project? Do you have some sort of a platform in mind? Do you want to work on Shopify, WordPress, or whatever? You try to get more details from the client that you need at that particular step. You don't jump 10 steps ahead. Let's go back to the point number 3. So you need to prospect the clients. So you have more clients. When you are new, you have to understand that you might have to bid up to 100 different clients and still might not get any project. Even if you generate 1 or 2 leads in this 100 biddings, 100 prospecting, I think it's a good thing, because now you understand that how a platform works, how Upwork works, how Fiverr works, and how a cover letter works, which kind of cover letter works in your niche. In the later videos, I will create some videos on each of these points, explaining them in a little more detail. But the third thing is just prospecting. You need to get yourself out on LinkedIn, Fiverr, Upwork, and make all of these dummy projects so that the client can understand that you might be a good fit for them. And then you need to reach out to that particular client. The fourth thing is delivering the project. So I think that getting a project on Upwork or Fiverr or any other platform is really easy, but delivering that project is the most difficult part that anyone can do. We think that the difficult part is getting the job, but it's actually delivering and coming to the point of the client's expectation. Because when you are new, you tend to say yes to everything that the client has to say and client has to ask, but you don't understand that you can't do anything and everything. You have to understand your own limitations. You're new to the beginner level and you can't just do anything and everything. So yes, make sure whatever you are offering, you don't go beyond that offer just to convince the client that you are the perfect fit. Just stick to the offer that you're offering, and this thing might work for next 2 to 3 more years until the AI takes over everything, and then we need to figure out, okay, how we are going to make money in this next revolutionary age. But for now, I think this thing might work. Getting a little bit better with the niching thing, building your portfolio, and then trying to pitch the client with whatever services and offers you are going to offer. In the later videos, I will discuss some skills that are easy to learn, such as graphic designing or video editing. So if someone has no idea, maybe they can spend 1 to 3 months learning these skills in a basic format, and then they are good to be launched in a marketplace. So yeah, goodbye.